In today's video, we'll be diving back into more Wuchang Fallen Feathers, and for this one, I'll be going over 3 awesome armour sets that can easily be missed within the game if you don't know exactly what you're looking for. These armour sets are well worth getting hold of, as they've got some great stats about them, and also look really cool if you're into the fashion vibe of things. So the first one we're going to be going over, if you want to look a whole bunch like Attila the Hun, then we're going to show you how to get hold of the Overseer set. This thing has some really nice mitigation on it for your kind of physical type damage, but the great thing as well is that it also works perfect in this snowy region because of just how much frostbite resist you've got on it. Now, in order to get hold of this gear, you're going to want to head off to Cloudspire and then the Snowy Passage. And one thing I would advise when you're doing this run, because there's a lot of despair in the area, you might want to put on an outfit that's got a lot of resistance to that type, or of course grab yourself some other goodies that can help you in one way, shape or form. For example, your fixed origin pills, or if you need to get rid of it, your mixed lotus seeds. Then you're going to go from the shrine we said, and just keep making your way down the snowy path, and keep going this way, avoiding all of the mines and annoying things on the way until you reach a bridge just here. Head across it, and then just make your way along and through this cave area. Now, inside this cave there's a few enemies that you can take out if you want to build up your Skyball might. But like I said, the main thing you want to do is just make sure you're going past all of the areas that are going to build up your despair, which you'll usually see from the glowing mineral deposits on the sides. Once you get all the way to this bit, there's going to be one of those tree type monsters here, and these things hit really hard, so you might want to be a little bit wary. Also, when you've got a terrible camera angle like I have just here, it doesn't make things any easier, but just take them out, hopefully without too many issues, and then you'll be able to move on from there. Definitely having a bit of Skyball might on your side will help at this part because there's a whole bunch of enemies in here, but the main one you're going to be on the hunt for is going to be one of those Red Eyes enemies. If you want to take out some of the things on the side, you can do, because this is one of the most tightly packed areas for enemies I've seen in the game, and also quite a few of them seem to spawn continuously. So after a while of taking them out, realising that they weren't all dwindling down too fast, what I decided to do was actually go in, lure out the red-eyed enemy a little bit, and bring him back over so that you're facing him a little bit more one-on-one than you would be in amongst everything else. Watch out for the exploding guys, because they can be an absolute pain in the butt, but then when you can, you're going to want to tackle the red-eyed enemy and take him out in whichever way you find best, which is going to give you the armour set we're after, the Overseer set. Next up, one of the coolest looking sets in the game, and we're going to be taking a look at the Loyalty set. Again, this has some really nice stats on it. I'd say it's got quite a nice bit of physical damage negation, especially your slash and stab, so it'll be great against a lot of enemies within the game, especially if they're not putting out too many types of elemental damage. Now with this, I'm not going to go over absolutely everything because it would be a much longer video if I do, but in order to get hold of this set, you're going to have to fully complete the White Robed Elder questline. You're going to see him in the background here. It's going to be this white haired guy, and there's going to be a whole bunch of steps mainly revolving around you talking to him in certain areas. I'll put all the steps on the right hand side, make sure you speak to him whenever possible, and then eventually you're going to end up a little bit further on into the game, which is going to be after the point of no return, and you'll see yourself at the Bow Capital. You're going to be at the Bow Capital entrance, and I would personally make it on a little bit further from here. Just keep making your way through until eventually you make it to the next shrine point, which is going to be the depths of the capital. If you need to know how to get here, there's going to be loads of guys on YouTube showing you how. Once you're at this stage, rather than going in the door next to it, which most people will do because it's a little bit silly how they've designed this, instead what you got to do is head all the way back to Mount Zenwu, and then you're going to go over to the Avian Dwelling. At this point, it's going to have moved the guy along. It's going to make it so you can get onto the next stage of his actual quest line and fully complete it once you've got this done. Once you're at this shrine, you're going to head over this way. Again, if you do need to build up Skyball might, you may well want to, because you're going to have a tricky encounter next, tackling the White Robed Elder himself. Then, just keep making your way all the way along through this area until eventually you'll see yourself back at where you've previously met him, and that's going to be at the tomb. Now, one thing I would say with this guy, he's actually a bit of a nightmare to fight because he does do a lot of frostbite damage, and if you get caught up in that, it halves your stamina, making him really tricky to take down fast. So you're going to want to try and avoid that, or put some resistance on if possible, because that could probably make this fight a whole bunch easier. But as long as you've got a nice bit of damage on your side, you should be good to go. And taking him down with fire seems to work really nicely, because it hits him like an absolute truck, dealing out a lot of extra damage. Once you have beaten him, you're going to be rewarded with the cyan feather chisel, which is perfect for your tempering, and something else that you'll be able to hand over to your vendors. But the main thing you'll want to do is go to the right hand side of where the shrine point is, and you're going to see a glowing marker. At this point, you're going to want to go into your emotes, and you're going to want to hit worship. Once that's done, you're going to have to wait a little while. It's going to do a little bit of voicing in the background, but after a short time, you're going to be rewarded with the set you're after, and that's going to be the loyalty set. Next up, and for anyone who wants to take a bit of vengeance on their inner demon, for this one, you'll be able to get hold of the Obsession armor set. A really cool looking armor set that's got some nice resistances on it, and of course if you're into your jiggle physics, this is definitely one of the more revealing costumes. This set I found to be quite well rounded, and although it doesn't have quite as much mitigation to some of your physical damage, it does have great resist in other places. Perfect thing about this, if you followed the last stage, you're going to be able to teleport straight to the actual checkpoint you need to, which is going to be the Bow Capital, Depths of the Capital. Then, literally right beside yourself is going to be the final riddle door for the game, and at this point if you want this armor set item, you're going to have to answer it in a specific way. So rather than going with the actual correct answer, which is the Grand Dream Fades, you're going to have to pick the wrong answer, which is going to be the wheel turns anew, and then it's going to teleport you to a new area. Remember, it does depend what you want for this, because I think you get an achievement if you answer all of them correctly, so this is going to be dependent on your playstyle or what run you're doing. But once you are teleported to this new area, you're going to make your way forward a little while. You'll eventually come to another shrine that you can activate, but the main thing is, once you've made it all the way down the bottom of the stairs, you're going to be tackling the Demon of Obsession. Again, it's another boss that can hit you quite hard, so you do want to be a bit careful, but as long as you've got a lot of damage in your build, you should be able to take them down quite easily. And again, I found Flame worked quite nicely in order to take their health down pretty fast and easy. Take down their health as much as possible whenever you can, and avoid all of their big hits, and eventually you're going to defeat them and you'll be rewarded with the armor set you're after, the armor set of Obsession. Before you leave, behind them is going to be another area that you want to use your emotes on, and this time it's going to be the Sacrifice emote in order to grab yourself a little bit more Mercury. If you're on a certain playthrough as well, there is another area up above you want to take a look at, but the main thing we're here for is to get hold of this set of armor and look absolutely amazing, taking out all of the last bosses in the game. But yeah, hopefully that's helped a few of you guys and girls out. There's going to be a load more content away from me, hints, tips, guides and builds, as well as some other things you should be looking out for. But for now, take care. I'll see you on next day.